Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and this is a really fun straight sword build that I've actually used before, and it uses Seppuku on the Ash of War. That's what we're using here, and we're using Seppuku on both of these, and these are the Warhawk's Talon. Now, the Warhawk's Talon, I'm going to show you where to get in a second, is a rare straight sword that drops from the Warhawks. Pretty straightforward there. It's an awesome straight sword in my opinion, and it's one of my favorites, especially for the early game because you can grab it so early. Now, you have to kill these annoying eagles for it. At this point, I'm on New Game Plus 6, Journey 7, so I have a lot at my disposal here, but if you're just starting out, my recommendation for you would be to try to use something ranged for these guys because they can be kind of annoying to fight with melee. And it's right here in Stormvale Castle, right outside that Rampart site of Grace. And you go out there and you farm it, and it's 2% drop rate without any boost. So it has a unique R2, as you can see here. It's a double slash-like animation on a straight sword, which makes it really cool. And you can actually proc stuff while doing poise damage with that unique R2. And honestly, it's one of my favorite charged attacks in general. So in my other videos, I had forgotten to use Seppuku on the other weapon. I got caught up using Seppuku on the one and then doing a whole bunch of different buffs that I forgot to mention that you can do it on both. And I want to thank somebody for commenting and pointing that out recently. I had totally forgotten about it. I'd used it before, but in my previous videos, I did not. I was forgetting to proc it. You can proc it on both. It's not hard to do. I'm on Xbox. You just hit Y and L1, proc it on the one, and then go back to two-handing and then proc it on the other. So for Mog, since I'm on Journey 7 here, it wasn't quite as effective as the dual bandit swords or the twin blades, and he does have a lot of HP here, so definitely be aware of that. Even so, though, with 60 dexterity, and I'm going to show the stats in a little bit, I noticed he had a little bit of health each time. I tried this about 3 times, and he always ended up with a little bit of health left. Could I have probably got him through without phasing? Yeah, but on the third try, I decided, I was just like, all right, whatever. I'll fight him in a second phase for a second, see how it goes, and I ended up beating him no problem after that. It does do a lot of damage though, and they do have a good jump attack. In general, just attacking animation, they're really quite good. I like the Warhawk's Talon. I really like this weapon very, very much. So we have 2 of these at plus 24. You want it plus 25 if you can. The Raptor's Black Feathers for the jump attack, Rotten Wing, the Claw Talisman, the Ritual Swords Talisman, Lord of Blood, and then the consecutive attack tear for all the consecutive successive attack bonuses, or whatever you want to call it. These are my stats. My stats at 150, I have 60 dexterity, 40 arcane, because that kind of caps the arcane around then. Arcane starts to taper off a lot after about 40. It really starts to taper off after 60, but it does taper off some after 40. So I put that at 40. I put dex at 60 because we're scaling at a B in dexterity and a D in arcane, so I can get some damage out of it while also proccing bleed. So the ideal buff system, as you can see here, we're using Golden Vow, Blessings Boon, and Flame Grant Me Strength, and then we're going to proc the one hand, we're going to go and proc the other. We have Seppuku on both weapons, and a straight sword at that. And then you go up and attack, and guess what? Bleed's going to proc pretty much instantly, especially on mobs. I'm going to show you on mobs real quick here. Look at the bleed proc. It's ridiculous. Even on straight swords, it's insane. It has 100 on it with 40 arcane, and then you're adding to it with Seppuku, which I think adds another 60 or 80 or some odd number that just makes it ridiculously powerful in terms of bleed. So you can even turn straight swords into good weapons. And again, with the unique R2, the good jump attack animations, and the fact that these are straight swords that are not actually straight, in a sense, if you look at them, they're quite good. They really are. There's something you can grab in the beginning or the early game that can make you strong. I've actually done Frost in the past, my first Frost Fire type build, with these two, and it works well, especially in the early game. The early bosses, you can do poise damage while proccing with that double slash charge animation, and you can actually break their poise while proccing things like bleed and frost and doing tons of damage to boot. So again, we are on New Game Plus 6 here. Everything has a ton of health. We're not over leveled at 150, being that it's Journey 7. These are some of the bosses that I had left before my next run. And I just wanted to show off this and show off kind of one of my favorite builds for straight swords, because the Warhawk's Talons are really awesome. If you're not subbed, definitely sub. There's a whole bunch more great builds on my channel. I'll catch you guys there.